Hi, this is Brett with Piano Aha, and today we're going to talk about yet another way of figuring out what major key you're dealing with if you have, for example, 3 sharps or 4 flats. So, today we'll be talking about the circle of fifths that you may have heard about. Now, why is it called a circle of fifths? Well, obviously because there's a circle, and each of these intervals is a fifth. So, a C up a fifth is a G, and a G up a fifth is a D, etc. And a C go down a fifth, you get an F, go down another fifth, you get a B flat. So this is the circle of fifths. So how can we use this to find out what major key we're dealing with? Well, one way would be to say, for example, if we have 2 sharps, C major's here, we can just count over how many fifths we need. So 2 sharps would be D major. 4 sharps would be 1, 2, 3, 4, E major. So in other words, we can use the circle of fifths to find the answer. But that, in and of itself, is, while perhaps effective, also a bit slow. I'm here to tell you today that there's an even faster way of using this. What we've just done is look at this sequentially. In other words, if we have 3 sharps, then we've counted 1, 2, 3. Or if we look at it very exactly, we're thinking we start at C, we go up a fifth and get to G, we go up a second fifth and get to D, we go up another fifth and get to A. So we find the answer, but it's slow because it's sequential. We're having to do one thing after another and count up. In other words, it would take longer to find out what key has 7 sharps as opposed to what key has 2 sharps. What I want to show you here is a direct way of finding that out. So I'll tell you a little story. I had a student around 9 or 10 years old, and one day I mentioned something about 5 sharps, and he said, "Yeah, B major." And I said, "Wow, that was quick. What about 2 sharps?" He said, "Yeah, D major." And I said, "How do you know that? Did I ever teach you that? I don't think I ever taught you that." He said, "No." I said, "Well, how are you doing that?" He said, "At home, they have a circle of fifths clock. So in the room where he plays piano, there's a clock that looks exactly like a circle of fifths. It doesn't have numbers, it has notes. And so after a certain amount of time, if he saw this here, then he knew it's 4 o'clock. So that's how when I said 5, he just said, well, 5 o'clock is B, so it's B major. And the important difference here is that that's direct. He wasn't thinking, oh, sure, 5 sharps. I'll just think up one fifth, and then another fifth, and another one, and then another one. He just thought, oh, directly, it must be B. So that's the trick, to look at this visually. Now, how does this work for flats? The same, just with a counter-clockwise clock. So if I have 1 flat, it's F. If I have 2 flats, it's B flat. So if you can visualize this, then you can find the answer much quicker than having to count up each one of the fifths, or on the piano counting upwards fifths or downwards fifths to find out the name of the key. So that's a little bit about the circle of fifths. Maybe we'll see you in another video, and happy ahas.